Hello Amazon, how are you? It's Jacque here, co-founder of Plant Chicks, and for today's plant plates, I am going to be talking about meal prep, what I'm going to be making for myself this week. You know, Marcy and I were launching our beta group for our new program, LIT, Low Impact Interval Training, and it's not just fitness, it also includes nutrition, so we have got to be like on the ball. So that is actually kind of cool, like doing these lives. It helps hold me accountable for the week. So this is very stupid. This is really exciting. So I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the things that I'm going to have for the week, but also I'm going to tie in some of the amazing tools that I use, like my Instapot that I'll be using. And a lot of these tools are also here on, they're on Black Friday specials here on Amazon. So let's get this party started. If you are new to Amazon Live, you will see a carousel either below the screen or on the side of the screen, depending on where you're watching this live from. And the carousel, it has pretty much all the products in here that I'm going to be talking about. So it's really awesome. If you do not have any of the products and you need the products, all you do is you tap on the image and you add it to your cart and you check out. You can keep shopping, you can do whatever, and it'll stay in your cart until you do check out. But literally, I love Amazon. I love Amazon Live. We literally get shipments from Amazon almost every day between me and my husband. My husband probably gets more shipments from Amazon than I do, which is crazy town, I know. So also, my outfit, you guys always ask what Marcy and I wear. So all my pants are in the carousel. This little Mippo shirt, it's also in the carousel. I love all the clothes, all the shirts that they have. I literally have this in like 3 or 4 different colors. It's super soft, super amazing. So make sure you grab one for yourself in literally every color. And I also have like the long sleeve ones, but here in Miami, it doesn't get so hot. I'm literally looking out over Biscayne Bay, and my friends, it's freaking gorgeous here. Who's watching football and watching me on Amazon? Probably if you're watching football, you have me muted and you can't talk. So check in, let me know where you're watching from, let me know what you're doing, and let's get this party started, all right? So here, so some of the things that I have, I've got my blend tech over here in the corner. Pretty much for breakfast, I'll either have a smoothie, which I always use my blend tech, or if I don't have a smoothie, then I will have either oatmeal or potatoes, something like that. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my breakfast. So in the carousel, you're going to see a book, Fiber Fueled, linked on this. So Fiber Fueled, my friend, or Marcy and I, our friend, Dr. Will B. Wolskowitz, he is a gastroenterologist, and he wrote the book Fiber Fueled, and he talks about the importance of like how do you improve the health of your gut microbiome, because literally our gut microbiome, it's considered our second brain, and literally pretty much all the diseases stem from having our gut in dysbiosis, meaning we're feeding our gut microbiome the wrong foods like crap, which is calorie-rich and processed foods. So foods that come in a package and they don't have an expiration date, that's crap and it's not feeding your health. So those are foods, I'm not saying never eat those, but I am saying keep those to a minimum if you eat them at all. Like literally, if they never entered your mouth or in your belly, you would be a healthier person. So if you don't really care about chips, cookies, cakes, things like that, then you know what? You really don't need them. They're not serving you they're not helping you nutritionally. Now, if every once in a while, like for a birthday, you want a piece of cake or a piece of pie because it makes you feel good, it's good for your soul, then by all means do that. But it's not your birthday every day, remember that. And maybe not every holiday you have it. I did have, actually, you know what? I made these little pecan tartlets. I think that on our Amazon page, Marcia posted a picture of the tartlets that we made in the Plantsgiving live. Oh my goodness, they are so good. Let me actually grab them out of here. They're super delish. I've got so much food in my freezer that I've got to start eating my way through it. But these little pecan tartlets, it's literally made of walnuts. You have to go to our Amazon Live when we did the Thanksgiving. So you just go to our main Amazon page, make sure you follow the Plant Chicks, and then scroll all the way down, scroll, and then go to all the live streams and look for our Plantsgiving, because we make these. And literally it's like walnuts for the pie crust and a little bit of salt, and then you've got dates and then walnuts on top. It's like 3 ingredients, and this is my dessert. This actually might be the very first holiday that I didn't have like a vegan junk food like pecan pie or pumpkin pie or something like that. So these are actually good, and I'll have one of these tartlets whenever I want during the day. All right, so back to the book Fiber Fueled. Fiber Fueled, he talks all about like eating a diversity of plants every week. And really, the largest gut microbiome study to date, the American Gut Project, they actually recommend in that study, the findings were if you eat 30 different plant foods throughout the week, every week, like that's your norm, you're eating like 30 different plants throughout the week. So every 7 days you're getting it's like 30 different unique plants, all right? So when that happens, you're actually feeding your health. And notice, this does not mean you have to be 100% whole food plant-based. It doesn't mean you have to be vegan. It means you just need to bring more plants onto your plate, which is actually a beautiful thing. Now here at Plant Chicks, we are plant-based. That's like, if you work out with us, if you do any of our programs, then all the recipes are going to be 100% whole food plant-based, super nourishing, healing to your gut microbiome, nourishing and healing to your health, and it's also going to be really good for like health and longevity. So here, this is from our Plant Chicks pantry, and we have a little picture of our Plant Chicks plate. And with our plate, and this is what we're going to be talking about also in our LIT program, the Low Impact Interval Training, the program that we're going to be starting tomorrow actually. We're going to be working a lot with these plates. Now, looking at this plate, like I said, for breakfast, either I'm having a smoothie, maybe something with an oatmeal, like an overnight oats, or I'll do some kind of oatmeal that I'll cook on the stovetop. Or if I don't do a smoothie or oatmeal, then I'll do something with potatoes. More than likely, that's going to be like one of my go-tos or those will be my go-tos for breakfast. Now, let's look at oatmeal and also potatoes. I actually have 3 large sweet potatoes that I need to cook. I've got the oven heating up. I'm going to bring these over here because I can do this while I talk to you. So I've got my ginormous sweet potatoes, and what I do is I wash them off really good. You can scrub them down under the water. I don't use a scrub or anything, I just use water. Got sweet potato juice on my face. And then I stab it with a fork. I have a baking dish or pan, and I line it with wax paper. But also, Amazon have those little silicone mats. I should put that in the carousel, I totally forgot. But you can also use one of those silicone mats that you put underneath the baked potato. So I bake these. I'm baking potatoes probably a couple times a week. So these baked potatoes, these baked sweet potatoes, one thing with potatoes, any of the potatoes are amazing for you. So if you are like scared of potatoes, you're like, oh, Jackie, I can't eat a potato, they're like fattening. The only potatoes that are fattening are French fries and potato chips because they're fried in oil. So you want to stay away from those. But any of these natural potatoes, like sweet potatoes, yellow potatoes, russet potatoes, purple potatoes, you get the idea. Jewels, yams, all of these, they're amazing for you. So we also have these like little tiny potatoes. I'm gonna make these at some point this week. I'm not gonna make them today, but I'll probably put those on my cup or crisper. But these sweet potatoes, not only are they amazing, like sliced up in a salad, but also like for breakfast, they're really good. Like if you bake them fresh in the morning or whatever, pull them out of the oven, and I would use a smaller one if I was doing that. I wouldn't use this one because this could really be like two and a half servings right there. This is probably like 1.5 servings. But literally, my friends, you bake this, cut it open when it comes out of the oven. This is a really good breakfast food or even dessert. Cut it open, pour a little nut butter on it, chop up some bananas, or if you want to put blueberries or like whatever your favorite fruit is. Oh, you know what? Right now, pomegranates are in season. So maybe put in a little nut butter, top it with pomegranate. You're gonna have a burst of amazing flavor. And then if you want to sprinkle on some cinnamon or something, or maybe nutmeg or pumpkin pie spice, or allspice, like play with the flavors and do you. But let me tell you, that, so freaking good for breakfast. So what I like to do is I like to have an idea, like that would be a sweet way to eat this in the morning for breakfast. Like that's a sweet breakfast. But say I'm not really in the mood for sweet, because sometimes I'm not, which is unusual because I'm used to be like a huge like cookie and cake and pie fanatic. Don't get me wrong, I still like them, but now I'm more into like those little pumpkin pie tartlet, not pumpkin pie, but pecan tartlets that I made that are whole food, because it's like nature's candy and they're so delicious. Let me rinse off my hands real fast. But so I talked about one way to make a sweet potato and make it sweet for breakfast. So we come out of the oven, open it up, sprinkle with some kind of nut butter, and then top it with some of your favorite fruit. Like right now, pomegranate seeds, oh, so good. And then some of your own favorite seasonings. But say I don't want something sweet, I can also make this savory. And a way to make this savory is I could actually cut this up, like dice it up, whatever, boil the potatoes, and then after that, in a pan, I would add some kind of beans, like black beans, and some kind of greens, maybe kale or collards or spinach. Pick one, pick them all, doesn't matter. Again, remember, we want 30 different unique plants during the week, so if you want to add in like a little handful of each of those greens, that's even better. And instead of using oil in the pan, you're going to use a little bit of low sodium veggie broth. I literally always have, I have like 3 or 4 different brands. Like I don't even know which brand, where I got this one. But I always get low sodium, or this one is unsalted. So there's actually no salt in that one. But do try and get the organic. But I use that instead of oil. So I'll have my greens, I'll have beans, and if you want to put in like some mushrooms or some other vegetables in there, all the better. And then maybe chop up some avocado and have that. So now you've got like a savory way to have your sweet potatoes. And I'm going to take it back to the plant chicks plate. So we just talked about the sweet and the savory for the sweet potatoes for breakfast, and how we incorporated all of these, the vegetables, protein, fats, and carbs. Obviously, maybe not obviously, with plant foods, one of the cool things with plants is this bad boy has all your macronutrients. It's got carbohydrates, which is the predominant one in there. It also has a little bit of fat. It also has some protein, which is crazy. People don't think that. Literally, all your plant foods, they do have a little bit of everything. It's got a little bit of all of the macronutrients. And this sweet potato is higher in vitamin A than the other potatoes. The purple potatoes are higher in the polyphenols, right? Because of the color. So you want to like change it up and work on getting different potatoes. So I'm going to have sweet potatoes this week. I'm going to have those little yellow potatoes. Probably go to the store and get some purple potatoes later this week because I don't have any here. And I'm definitely if I didn't already say this, I'm gonna get some russet potatoes because a friend of mine just posted a russet Thai curry soup recipe. That looks so delicious. For Thanksgiving, I did the Whole Foods Vegan Thanksgiving, and Chef Chloe, she had a pumpkin curry soup that was to die for. It was so good. So when my girlfriend posted this Thai curry russet potato soup, I'm like, I've got to have that because it was, that soup from Chef Chloe was so good that we made from Whole Foods. So definitely want another one of those. So anyway, let's look at how these Plant Chicks plates, how I made this work with this wonderful breakfast. So the carbs is really going to take up the main portion of the plate for breakfast. And then for the sweet one, I had the nut butter. The nut butter, type it in. Where do you think it would come? Where would the nut butter fall? Would it fall in carbs, fats, protein, or vegetables? And if someone can type it in, let's see, do you get a prize? It actually will fall in the fats category. Oh, protein too, yes. Actually, thank you for playing. Because nuts, you guys, are super, super high in protein. And this kind of goes back to what we were just saying, that your plants, they have a little bit of all of the macronutrients. Now, yes, you are right. You're definitely getting some protein in the nut butter, but it's also high in fat, so we do count it more as fat. So protein is right, but we're just counting it more as fats in the little breakfast. And then we're also putting some fruit in there, so that's going to be some more carbs. And you can also, like, you're playing around a little bit with this with the breakfast one. And for your protein, you can add, if you want to add some beans, you can do that. But if you want to add some different, like, hemp seeds or whatever, those are also fats, but you're also getting protein in them. So it's like a little play right there. Now let's look at the savory style of the sweet potato. So remember, this is baked, we boiled it, it's in cubes, and then on that plate, we're going to bring in some greens. And again, like, pick your favorite greens, whatever your favorite greens are. If you want spinach, collards, kale, whatever your greens are. If you want to get one of those Organic Girls that has a little bit of everything. Organic Girl, they have protein greens now too. So if you want to amp up your protein a little bit, if you're working out every day, you might have a little bit higher protein needs. But when I say a little bit higher, more than likely you're not going to need to eat additional protein, because most Americans get like 2, sometimes 3 times the amount of protein that their body actually requires. And that's putting more work on your kidneys, and that's not a good thing. But if you're eating whole food plant-based or eating predominantly plants, then more than likely you're just gonna get the right amount of protein. So let's look at the savory sweet potato. We've got the sweet potato, that's gonna be your carb. Again, it's gonna be taking up a big portion. This is for breakfast. And then we're gonna add in some greens. That's gonna be in your vegetables. And with the greens, or also if you wanna add like mushrooms, what are some of your favorite vegetables right now? Think seasonally, or think what's local to you. Because those, like any of your favorites, add them on this bad boy to get your little savory taste. It's actually really clever. And that's the fun way to have food freedom and to like learn and see like what are the things that you like to make. And sometimes you will create some of the tastiest dishes. It's amazing. So we've got the greens. We're gonna put some beans in there. And what beans? Whatever beans are your favorite. And beans are actually gonna show up, those will be your protein, okay? So you're gonna put your beans in there. If you want mushrooms, mushrooms are also super high in protein. It could count between a protein or a vegetable. Let's see, we're also going to put in, maybe we'll top it with some avocado, and the avocado is going to be a whole fat. So whenever you eat a macronutrient, think about having it attached to fiber. And Dr. B goes over all of this in his book Fiber Fueled. It's on the carousel, so if you have not read his book Fiber Fueled, please do get it. You can get it on Audible, or you can get it in hard copy. And Audible, I get pretty much all my books in Audible. He's got a ton of recipes in Fiber Fuel, but the nice thing is, in Audible, you get a PDF of all the recipes. So you don't lose out when you get any book on Audible. You're not like missing out on recipes or anything, and you can have them on your phone. And mine are literally on the phone, but I'm doing Amazon Live, otherwise I'd show you. But in Fiber Fuel, he talks about getting all these different unique plants, but he also does say that most Americans, 97% of Americans in fact, do not get enough fiber. People are so hyper-focused on getting protein, and they are completely missing out, and they're missing the good stuff, and the good stuff is fiber. Fiber feeds our gut microbiome. Fiber feeds our health. Fiber feeds longevity. So we want to make sure that all of our macronutrients, our proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, are all attached to fiber. And again, fiber is only found in plant foods. You're not going to get fiber in dairy, so that means cheese, yogurt, eggs, none of your poultry, chicken, turkey, none of that. Seafood, no. Red meat, no. Lamb, no. No, 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 no. If it has a mother, it doesn't have fiber. So all of your plants, that's where the fiber is. But, my friends, we're not talking French fries, we're not talking potato chips, and we're not talking the fiber that's added to whatever food. Like, we want it found naturally in the food. So this potato is a decent source of fiber. Not super high, but it's a decent source. And literally the skin has a lot, has the majority of the fiber, and it also has a lot of the nutrition in there. So make sure that you're eating the skin on the potatoes, all right? Alrighty, okay, so we've got a couple different ideas for breakfast. Again, smoothie. Maybe I'll talk about smoothies next week because I don't have my plant blender. I don't have that printed off, so I'll maybe talk about that next week, and we can talk about smoothies. And I should also have my Nutrimilk, so you guys, that's linked in the carousel below. Nutrimilk is amazing. I love my Blendtec, but it's getting a little old, and it does need to be updated. It does need to be, like, it's getting really loud. And Nutrimilk, I'm obsessed with it. It can act as a food processor. It makes nut butters. Blendtec doesn't do the best at making nut butters. So it makes nut butters, smoothies, acts as a food processor. It does literally everything, and that should be arriving hopefully sometime this week. So maybe next week when I can do plant blenders on my live, and we can make some smoothies, make some nut butters. I'm so excited, and it comes with like a recipe book and everything. But they're having an amazing Black Friday day sale, $100 off. So reach out to us, let us know if you've got any questions about Nutrimilk, because it is a badass. We seriously love it. All right, my oven is ready, so I'm going to put in all my sweet potatoes, and I cook them for about an hour. And you guys, I always get hot. This always like burns my necklace, and I have like a burn mark on my neck, almost always. I have to lean like this. I took off one of my necklaces because it literally gets so hot. I probably have like scars on my neck from the stupid oven. It's kind of comical. Anyway, I digress. So another thing I like to do for breakfast is oatmeal. And oatmeal, I always do a half a scoop of dry oatmeal, and then I'll use water for my liquid instead of using a plant milk. And the only reason I do that is because soy milk, cashew milk, any of the milks, any of the plant milks, they have a lot of calories, and I would rather, I don't like drinking calories so much unless it's in my coffee, and that's about it. So I'm really just like, I stick to water. So with my oatmeal, I do like a half a cup of dry oatmeal and then a cup of water. And then if I'm in a sweet mood, which you guys has just reminded me, I've got some matcha green tea in here. Also on my carousel is the Virtuo Nespresso machine, and I love the milk frother. So I've got soy milk in here, and I'm going to froth up some milk, and I might need to froth up a little bit more because I'm going to make a little matcha latte right here in front of you that I'm so excited about. Matcha, so first of all, coffee is good for us. It has a lot of antioxidants in it. But matcha is a green tea, powdered green tea, and this one is actually from Japan, which that's where you want to get your matcha from because they make the best matcha. And it's also super high in antioxidants. I'm trying to like it. It's literally not my favorite flavor, so I'm like training my taste buds now. So when you guys see me taste it, I might make a funny face because I'm trying to learn to love it. I'm just keeping an eye on my frother because I might have filled it a little bit full and I don't want it to come overflowing. That has definitely happened before. All right, so matcha tea also. It's super high in ACGC, I think is what it is. It is overflowing. ACGC is an antioxidant. It's really good for you and it helps with like hormone control and weight loss. So it's like the bomb.com. So that's one of the reasons I am trying to like matcha more. I should have linked this too. I made my husband get this. He's like, you already have a frother, why do you need another one? This we got on Amazon. I'll link it up somewhere. This is a game changer, I love it. I make an elixir for my husband and I every morning and literally use this little frother, stir, mixer all the time. If you would like to make Dalgona coffee, if you haven't made that, you have to look at our TikTok because we've got Dalgona coffee, how to make that. And you get all the components here on Amazon, of course. But literally, it mixes it up so pretty. Isn't that nice? I love this little mixer. Let me rinse it off. But, so I'm trying to like matcha because it's healthy for me. It's really good. It's different antioxidants. And it's good for anti-aging. And I'm all about that because I'm 51. 51? Yeah, I'm 51. So, gotta get all the stuff I can get. And that is also one of the reasons I'm plant-based because plant-based nutrition is one of the best things that we can do for anti-aging and wellness and overall health and longevity. So here we go. Let's see if I make a funny face when I drink this matcha. What do you think? It's actually not bad. It's not bad. It's just such an earthy flavor, So, I could get used to this. It's just not as sweet as I want it a little bit sweeter. But this, let me tell you, you are watching me like getting acclimated to a new taste. Notice, I like this more than I've liked other matchas. So either I'm growing in my matcha palette or I actually have a really good brand here and this is a brand that I need to stick with, so stay tuned. I will be doing some lives with this brand more than likely. So stay tuned, stay close to this page. We will keep you posted. But no, this is actually pretty good. And it's making my gut microbiome happy. All right, let's go back to our plant plate. And remember, plant plates, this is our version of how we eat. We don't count macros, we don't count calories, we don't do any of that because we're plant-based. We use these plant plates and plant blenders, but we get all of this information from the American Gut Project and then Dr. B's book and other physicians. But Dr. B's book, that I have highlighted down here below, Fiber Fueled. He outlines everything, and you guys, literally, he's also doing a 7-week course starting in January. If you have any GI issues, if you know anyone with GI issues, if you have an autoimmune disease, cancer, diabetes, heart disease, you know anyone that has any of those, you might want to check out Dr. B's course. It's not here on Amazon, but we can give you information. Just head over to our Instagram and we can send you the information. But he's amazing. We've got a code and everything. But highly recommend him. He's a personal friend. He's amazing. He cares so much about his patients. and your health. Literally, your health. He's amazing. He's so amazing. Can't say enough good things about him. Okay, back to breakfast. So for breakfast, we talked already about the sweet potatoes and how I can make it sweet or savory. Now oatmeal, how can I make it sweet or savory? I make oatmeal 3 different ways. 1, overnight oats. Now if you have not made overnight oats yet, you have got to do this. So easy to make. You want to get a mason jar. We've got all this on our Amazon page. Just go to our kitchen must-haves. Get some mason jars, like the quart size ones. What size are these? Wait, where do I put my mason jars? This size. I think it is a quart. But you want the wide mouth one. These are my favorite. Get these. Half a cup of oats in here. Look, a restaurant used to make overnight oats. Here, this is a local restaurant. And I would literally get their overnight oats just so I can get their mason jars. And I like their overnight oats. Half a cup of oats. Then add in 2 or 3 tablespoons. It doesn't matter how, it can be either 2 or 3. That's gonna be your fat of chia seeds. So you have your carbs here, half a cup of oatmeal. Then you're gonna add your fat, which is 2 to 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. Protein, you can either use like a protein powder if you want, or sometimes you can use beans. It totally is up to you. And I vacillate. Sometimes I'll use a protein powder because I am working out every day, so I am wanting to add in a tiny bit more protein. Or if I wanted to, I've add beans into my smoothies all the time, and I also have them in my breakfast also. Beans that are not super powerful or not super like flavorful, and they're not going to take over the whole flavor of your dish, would be chickpeas or mung beans. Mung beans you might not have heard of. Go to our page, go to our kitchen staples, and we've got some sprouted mung beans and chickpeas, so we've got everything linked in there too. But literally add those to your cart, because the mung beans, high in protein, you want to get them sprouted because they're more nutrient dense that way, but they're the least gassy beans out there. And a lot of people say, oh, I can't eat plant-based because I get so gassy, I get so bloated. And then they also say that about beans. Oh, the more you eat, the more you toot, right? That's what they say. But it just takes a little bit of time to get your body used to the beans. But mung beans, M-U-N-G beans, those are the least gassy beans out there. So get those, add them to your cart, come back over here, and then we'll talk about more of the plant plates and everything. So for the overnight oats, half a cup of oatmeal, about a cup of water, and then 2 to 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. This is gonna make your overnight oats so thick and delicious. I like my oatmeal thicker, more dense, versus like runny. If you like it runnier, you're gonna use less of the chia seeds or more water or more whatever fluid you're gonna use, liquid you're gonna use. Protein, probably for this overnight oats, I'm gonna use my complement protein. And then my vegetables, actually it's gonna be fruit. I'll put in berries. Berries are amazing. They're super high in antioxidants. Think the rainbow, maybe some raspberries and some blueberries and blackberries, whatever. Think of the berries that are in season. Also, berries, they're really good for anti-aging. Again, I'm all about anti-aging because I'm 51 and I need more anti-aging, right? Yes, yes, yes. So that's gonna be my overnight oats. I shake it up or stir it, put it in the fridge. Literally, it only needs to be in the fridge for like 2 to 3 hours, but I usually would do those tonight. And then throughout the week, I would just open and grab. I grab and go. So if you know you've got a busy couple days ahead of you, or you work in an office or whatever, make a bunch of those overnight oats. Oh my gosh, it's so freaking easy. It's like a no-brainer. Another thing I like to do with my oatmeals, if I'm cooking it on the stove, this is a sweet way to make it. So I will have it on the stove, cook it for like 5 minutes, whatever. Again, half a cup of dry oats with 1 cup of water. That's the staple. That's my go-to. That's how I always do it. If you want to, if you need to gain weight, use soy milk or cashew milk or whatever. Use some kind of plant milk. to up the calories a little bit, okay? But if you are being mindful about your weight, and then use water instead of a plant milk. So cooking it on the stove, and on the stove I would cook it. It takes like 5 minutes, and then in a bowl I will have about a couple tablespoons of nut butter. That's going to be your fat. You'll get a little bit of protein there too. I would also use some flax seeds, like a tablespoon of flax seeds, because ground flax seeds are so amazing for you. You want to make sure they are ground, because if you eat whole flax seeds, look in the toilet when you go number 2. When you fiber slay, that's the Plant Chicks mascot. It's called poop, the poop emoji. But look in the toilet when you fiber slay, and you will see those ground flax seeds all perfectly, just perfect the way they went into your mouth or the way they're going to come out. So when that happens, you're not like absorbing all the goodness that they have. That's why you do want to ground up your flax seeds and then put them in your oatmeal. So what I also like to do when I've got my oatmeal cooking, I go to my freezer section, my freezer section, like I live in a grocery store or something. But I go to my freezer, I get out berries, or maybe I'm in the mood for cherries, whatever frozen fruit you have, I add them to the hot oatmeal and the nut butter and the flaxseed. I mix it all up, and guess what the frozen berries or frozen fruit does? It cools down the oatmeal so it's not like piping hot, and I can actually eat it. So freaking amazing, so good. Telling you, it's delicious. So you've got all of those. So that's a sweet way to make your oatmeal. Notice it's very similar to what we did with the sweet potato. To make it a sweet potato, right? But now let's talk about a savory oatmeal. First of all, if you have not ever tried savory oatmeal, you do not know what you're missing. You've got to try savory oatmeal. And another thing, oatmeal, I want you to think of oatmeal just like any other grain. So rice, you might not really think of rice as maybe a breakfast food, but you can make a rice cereal. Quinoa, you can make a quinoa cereal. Amaranth, you can do the same thing. But oatmeal, people almost always reserve oatmeal for breakfast only. And let me tell you, my friends, oatmeal is not only for breakfast. My husband and myself, we will have savory oats for dinner. Frequently, actually. And I'll have it for breakfast too. Not the same day. So my savory oats, this is so good. You guys have got to try this. We've got a recipe. We've got to post it here on our Amazon page, but we have it posted like on our social media. We're Plant Chicks everywhere at PLANTCHICS, Plant Chicks. But literally savory oats. So you have your oatmeal, you already know how to make it, half a cup of dry, 1 cup of water. Cook it up, and then in a pan, you're going to add beans. Add your favorite beans. My favorite for savory oats would be spinach, and I cooked this last week. Spinach, the Trader Joe's mushrooms, and I don't know if you can get this on Amazon or not, but you can definitely, it's frozen, you guys. It's really good. So whenever you have frozen foods, the fruit or vegetable was picked at peak ripeness. So these are like super nutrient dense. But these mushrooms, so freaking good. Smack your mama good. Anyway, I like to add these mushrooms with spinach or whatever greens I'm in the mood for. Onions and garlic. Always add onion. I love adding onions and garlic. Black beans as well. So let's look at this. Dr. B in Vita Refueled, he talks about plant points. And you count your plant points based on the number of different plants that you're eating in that one meal. Easy peasy. Okay, so oatmeal is 1, that's plant. I've got my spinach or whatever grain you're using. I've got my mushrooms, and this mushroom medley actually has champion mushrooms, however you say it, that's not the right way. Oyster mushrooms, boletus, and slippery jack mushrooms. Let's just say 2 different mushrooms. We've got the oatmeal, the spinach, we'll say 2 mushrooms, garlic, onions, black beans, and then I'm also going to cut up some avocado on top for my whole plant, for my fat. You can put olives in there, whatever you want. And then if you like spicy, put a little Tabasco or a little sriracha on there. Oh, I am telling you, it's a game changer and it's so freaking good. These savory oats, not just for breakfast. And let me see these comments that are coming through. Thank you for this. Yes, yes. Onions and garlic for everything. And Tiffany, I think it's you that's on here. But yes, I love this. I have this shirt literally in every single color. See, I have to digress a little bit. But let's talk a little. Okay, so that was what, 7 or 8 plant points, and that was in just one meal. And remember, plant points, think about it. When I was talking about the American Gut Project, they want you to have 30. They recommend at least 30 different unique plants every week. Some dietetic associations recommend 40. So literally, to be on the safe side, shoot for 30 to 40. Now, we at Plant Chicks, we've actually done challenges to see how many different plants you can get in a week. Some of the ladies got like in the 70s, and then the most recent, the Fiber Fuel Challenge that we did with Dr. B, one of the girls got like 112. I was floored. I'm like, whoa, that's amazing. That's a lot of different plants. Fresh herbs. Oh, on the Savory Oats, if you like cilantro or parsley, get some real like cilantro, or if you've got basil or whatever, put some of that on there. That counts as another plant point. And you are racking up your plant points. It is incredible. Just gonna throw these back in here real fast. So that is a really good way to make a savory breakfast or dinner. And hey, Tiff, I thought it was you, because you always show up as me on here. It's kind of funny. All right, so the breakfast, the savory oats. Carbs would be your oatmeal. Fat would be the avocado. Protein is going to be the black beans, also the mushrooms. Vegetables are going to be the greens that we added in. And boom, there you go. And it's also going to be the garlic and onion. Now, going back to Dr. B's book, Fiber Fuels. One of the things he recommends that you have pretty much every day, it doesn't have to be every day, but like it's your goal to get this in every day. He says F goals. And his F goals, they all stand for something. So F is like fermented foods, like sauerkraut. Oh, that's another thing. I always add sauerkraut to my savory oats. And literally, I just had, who is still eating leftovers from Thanksgiving? I actually am just finally finishing. But this wild brine, if you have not tried this brand, I don't know if we can get this on Amazon or not, but you can get it. It's so good. Definitely you can get it at Whole Foods. So you could add it to your Prime and have them deliver it to your house. But this wild brine, so good. I literally had made some stuffing for Thanksgiving. This was extra. This was not the one that Whole Foods gave us. So I wanted, it was a really good recipe. Marcia made it on another live. But I had some stuffing. I added some beans. I think I had black beans, and I also had some edamame. And then I had some sauerkraut. It was a very unique combination of foods, but I have to tell you, it was really, really good. It was super delish, actually. Oh, these sweet potatoes, you guys, they're smelling really good. Smelling super good. Let me just grab a drink of my matcha tea. So that is kind of a walkthrough of some different breakfast items for my plant plates. Let me show you, I've got a couple of things, like I've got to do some shopping in a couple days. I just want to pull out some of these things right here. My refrigerator is not nearly as fun as Marcia's. So one of my favorite things to get at Whole Foods, wherever I'm grocery shopping, I love to get their little pre-made salad kits. Sometimes I'll even get the non-vegan version, don't shoot me, but I don't eat the non-vegan part, obviously. I'll throw those out, or maybe my husband, if he is eating whatever it is, it's in there, he'll have it. but I just, call me lazy. This is like healthy in a hurry. This literally, I'll make this, I can have this over like 2 meals, but it's a rarity. I don't know that I ever really just have it just like this. I'll always add to it. So I will normally add some greens. I've got some spinach here. So I will add probably half this bag to this full bag. And this will be probably 2, maybe 3 meals. I'm thinking more like 2. This is a little bag I can eat. And this is not a lot of calories either. So that's one of the things when you're eating plant-based, you really don't have to worry about. You're gonna get full because of all this fiber before you overeat. So I'll make my own dressing, and I pulled out this dill because I love dill. I haven't had dill in so long, but this is like one of my favorite herbs. And this also counts as a plant point. But I'm super excited. I'm gonna make some kind of dressing, like a salad dressing with this dill that I can use. Maybe I'll even put some with some hummus, and I can use it for like a crudité platter. So be on the lookout. I'm gonna make a really nice dressing. If you have a dressing for me, type it in here. I'd love to see it. But I'm gonna make a dressing with the dill. But literally, so half this bag will go in with this big bag. I will add some tomatoes here to the Asian salad. I will also add probably some sun-dried tomatoes because I love sun-dried tomatoes. They've got a little bit of cilantro in here. I'm gonna add more cilantro because I love me some cilantro. And if I have any other vegetables in my refrigerator that needs to be eaten, I will also do that. I'll add those. But it's a rarity that I just leave the salad just like this. I will also add beans because look, the plant chicks plate. When I look at the salad, where am I? So the vegetables, that's gonna be all the salad. That's gonna make up the majority of the plate. So I'm gonna add some beans for my protein. Fats, my go-to fats are going to be either avocado or olives. And if I don't have those, or if I'm in a different mood, then also ground flaxseed, hemp seed, chia seed. I don't typically put hemp or chia on a salad just because they get stuck in my teeth, but I know a lot of people who do, and that's perfectly fine. That's totally like your option. Hemp seeds are really good. That could be good sprinkled on those sweet potatoes also. One of my favorite snacks is having an apple, cutting it up, sprinkling it with cinnamon, and dipping it in hemp seeds. Oh, so good. So you're getting protein, fat, and your carbs from the apple, the hemp seeds, and the cinnamon. Easy peasy. And it tastes like dessert. It's really good. So with this, we've got the salad, which are gonna be the vegetables. I'm adding some beans for the protein. My fats are gonna be either the olives or the avocado. Actually, I'm gonna add olives because I've already talked a lot about avocado today, and I need to diversify my gut microbiome and get in a couple little extra things. And then my carbs, I know I've got these sweet potatoes, but you know what? I'm gonna cook up these little potatoes, and I'll have some of these, like a half a cup-ish on there in my salad. Another carb, like if you don't want to have potatoes, you could have quinoa, you can have oatmeal. We're just talking about oatmeal. If you cook up a big batch of oatmeal, you could also do brown rice, amaranth. You can, like, the sky is the limit, which is super, super exciting. You just have to play, experiment with different flavors, experiment with different tastes, and see what you can come up with. But you do want to make sure that you're getting in each of those little areas with all of your meals. So we like to make it easy peasy. Having that little picture pie chart makes it super fabulous and easy to do. And one other thing I want to talk about is your sweet potatoes. Now, sweet potatoes, I talked about making them, and then like when they first come out of the oven, if you want to have like sprinkle the nut butter on there, like melt, and it's ooey gooey, and it's oh so delicious. Add some cinnamon, or actually it's like the holidays, so maybe pumpkin pie spice or some kind of like fun spice, and some fruit makes it super, super amazing. But one of the things, when you let a sweet potato or any potato, when you cook it and then it cools down and then you eat it when it's cool, or if you eat it or if you like reheat it again, anytime you cook and cool a sweet potato, something called resistant starch forms in that potato. And it's actually really good for your gut microbiome. So it's actually better to cook up a big batch of potatoes, eat one while they're hot, or eat like a serving while it's hot, but put the rest in the refrigerator and then either reheat it or eat it cold, whatever you want to do. But the more times you can heat and cool, heat and cool, heat and cool, you're going to keep increasing all that resistant starch, and you're going to be feeding your gut microbiome. You're going to be your belly is going to make you happy. It's going to be happy. It's going to make you happy. It's going to make you healthier. So that is a very good thing, right? All right. I think that's all I wanted to cover for today. So you know where to find this outfit. Thank you, Tiff. I'm glad you like it. I love this little look. I'm loving pink. Anything that's bright makes me happy, and pink makes me happy. And I did my nails pink, so that's always fun. AirPods. If you guys have been wanting AirPods, let's just talk briefly about some Black Friday deals. AirPods, they're on sale. They're on the carousel. They're on Black Friday deal. Grab them now. Super amazing deal. I love my AirPods. Game changer. One of the reasons I love them, I meant to wear them for this live, but literally, like when I'm listening to a podcast, I can have my AirPods in and my phone stays like right here, and I'm running back and forth throughout the condo, and I don't have to have my phone on me the whole time. Now when I'm wearing these pants, having my phone on me is no problem because I've got this beautiful side pocket, which I love, but not all my pants have this bad boy, so it's just easier to have my phone wherever it is, have my AirPods in, and I'm listening to an Amazon Live. Listening to that as I'm running around doing things. And I don't have to constantly have that phone on me, but I can do everything and multitask. So that's beautiful. So I love the AirPods. 23andMe. This is a genetic test. It's like half price. They do this every year, but it's on sale half price. 23andMe. I think it's a cheek swab. You just send in your cheek swab and you're gonna get a full report back. You guys, I used to work in the diagnostic testing space. I worked for a genetic testing company. We looked at genetic risks for macular degeneration. Now, this is where I disagree with a lot of physicians. Literally, I think it's actually nice to know what your genetic makeup is, and keep this in mind. Now, when you get your results from 23andMe, they're not going to say, oh, you're at a higher risk for getting macular degeneration, or you're at higher risk for dementia, heart disease, whatever. They will give you some guidance and explain what the test is and what your genetic makeup, what it means, because it's very confusing. But they'll explain it, and it's really nice, and you can log in because they're constantly updating it. But you can log in and get updates about you and what's going on with you, and the different genes that you're seeing, what it might mean. So anyway, when your genetics, there's a saying, your genetics load the gun, but your lifestyle pulls a trigger. So me, I've got got a lot of heart disease in my family, and pretty much everyone in my family also has macular degeneration. I had a lot of people in my family go blind from macular degeneration. That's one of the reasons I loved working in it too, because it hit very close to home. But just because I have the genetic makeup, and I'm the picture of macular degeneration, blonde hair, light eyes, Caucasian, we're bound to get it. But there are many things that I can do to protect myself from triggering those genes for me to get macular degeneration. One is the food I'm eating. This matcha green tea that I was talking about earlier, it's so good. It has all these antioxidants in there. Antioxidants are super amazing for your eyes. And there's eating more plants, eating a variety of plants, eating 30 different plants every week. That's gonna help protect me from getting macular degeneration. moving my body, being active every day, that's also going to protect me. Getting enough sleep, having a community of people that I am in constant communication with, our Plant Chicks tribe. All of these things are super, super helpful to help protect me from triggering, from turning on those genes of whatever it is that I might have. So 23andMe, this is a really incredible opportunity for you to get your genetics tested, and then they're also going to tell you like what your ethnicity is, like what all you have in you and whatnot. It's actually very interesting. My uncle, my father's brother, so my grandmother, their mother, was adopted, and we literally had no idea like what her background was, because this was back in the day when all the adoptions were closed, and she had no idea. She didn't know any of her past medical history or anything. But when my uncle got his genetics in, he got 23andMe, he actually like sent us the report and let us know like what some of our background is, and it was really cool. So if you are at all interested in that, grab a 23andMe. This actually makes a really cool gift. Like if you have a loved one, or if you've got a really good friend, they literally have everything. This is a really cool, really fun, different gift to get someone. So 23andMe, it's in the carousel, grab that. AirPods, 23andMe, and then the Blendtec, which I'm upgrading my Blendtec, but I'm upgrading with Nutrimilk that's in there below. Next week, I think I'll talk about smoothies and make some nut butters with my Nutrimilk, so come back next week. And then my Instapot. If you guys don't have an Instapot, it's a Black Friday deal in the carousel. Grab it, especially if you're doing our LIT program, or if you have any of our programs. The No Meat Athlete bundle is going around. Our 30-day program is included in the No Meat Athlete plant-based health and nutrition bundle. And we've got recipes using the Instapot in our 30-day challenge. So if you do not have your Instapot, make sure you grab it on this incredible Black Friday deal. All right, guys, I think that's it. I'm going to think of some delicious recipe I can make with dill, because this dill is calling my name. All right, friends, have an amazing day. Thanks again for coming here today, being here on our Amazon Live. If you haven't done so already, please head to our main page, or on the Plant Chicks page on Amazon, hit the follow button, and then make sure that in your settings you turn on notifications so you can get notified when Marcia and I go live. It has been a pleasure being here. Again, my name is Jackie. I'm a co-founder of Plant Chicks. Marcia will be live tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern, noon Central, and she's going to be talking about all the amazing Cyber Monday deals, because even more will be added. And also on our main page, we have a list of Black Friday deals. So head over there. Hope you enjoyed, and let me know if you've got any questions. Thanks again for being here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, guys.